Sometimes opportunities don't just tap you on the shoulder, they hit you like a drone that took off unexpectedly. That's exactly what happened to me. One day I was at my desk, normal day working, and a guy came in and he wanted to see if I had a card reader to read the SD card out of the drone. And I started talking to him, and the next thing you know, I'm Part 107 certified and I'm flying the drone professionally at work. I didn't expect it, just happened overnight, wasn't even a plan in the back of my head, and here I am, I'm on the team. Realized this wasn't just a cool task. This was a chance to grow inside my company and build something for my future. So I made the decision right then to go all in. I went home, I bought the training course, I committed to studying, and I treated it like a real career move, not just a hobby upgrade. Right, getting certified isn't easy. It's not really difficult, but it's doable if you take it seriously. I studied every day, I took the practice tests, I focused on the stuff that actually matters in the field, airspace, weather. Those are the two to me that were the most difficult, but not ridiculous. The regulations and risk management, all that stuff is pretty much straightforward. And then I passed. I became FAA Part 107 certified remote pilot. The certification changed everything. It meant I wasn't just another guy with a drone. I am professional. I can fly this thing at work. Even if I don't do anything past that, I can extend the amount of time I'm on this job as it's closing and shutting down. I might be there longer because the drone has to take footage of the process of decommissioning all the buildings and tearing everything down. I plan to do more than that, but if nothing else, it's allowing me to get further in my own job in the current role. Once I had the certification, I knew I needed to build a foundation for a real business, even if it was just small at first. So I started with the basics. I went out, I bought a domain name. The main reason I bought a domain name is I wanted a real email address, not something Gmail or not a subdomain of some free thing. It's Cobra Aerial, so my email is mark@cobraaerial.com. I started building a website. I'm using as many free tools as I can. I paid for a little bit of stuff. It's not that big a deal, but that's the part that a lot of people skip. I wanted to separate it from a hobby to a business, so I want things to look business-like. And I had AI create the WordPress website, and it was a little bit too good, like enterprise level. It had too many pages and too much information. I'm like, whoa, back it down. I'm not ready for imagery and surveying and whatnot. So I kept it as simple as possible and cut everything down. So I got just a home page, an about page, and a contact page. And the contacts are a real phone number. It's a Google Voice number, so I don't have to worry about my cell phone going off at work and all that stuff. So I have a Google Voice number, a real email address, mark@cobraaerial.com, and I have a real web page, cobraaerial.com, with just the home, about, and contacts. And it has a form. You can put the information in there, hit send, and it sends me an email. Now, I'm not looking for any work yet because I'm still full-time employed. But when this job ends in about 2 years, I plan to have a business already set up in place, ready to go, even though I'm not out looking for work right now. All right, so I did my first professional flight outside of work. I've been flying the drone at work since I got my Part 107. I flew it once or twice before with a remote pilot in charge next to me. My company policy is before I can solo, I have to have the Part 107 actual number. So it took about 3 weeks to get the real number. I have that now. So if I need to fly solo, I can. I'm waiting for the actual card to come in the mail, but I do have an actual pilot certification number. So the first job I did, my wife had shown me a website where she found that a local racetrack here in Colorado, it's been abandoned for about 6 years, and somebody purchased it and they're doing $3.5 million worth of upgrades. So I contacted the guy and I said, hey, I would like to fly the drone out and get some footage before and after when you do these upgrades. And he responded back and said, perfect timing because we just ground the track down and he wanted me to take some footage of the track before they repave it. So I went out and did that, and I got some really good footage of the racetrack at about 8 feet. It's slow. I'm not trying to do aerobatic first-person drone like I'm a race car. It's slow, precise, one lap around the track so you can see it all. And then I did a little bit of aerial footage around the site. And then when I got home, I was really nervous. When I got home, that experience taught me that I know even less than I thought, and there's even more to learn. But I did this for free. And if the guy contacts me back and wants me to do more footage after the track is paved and whatnot, I will do so, for free also, just for the opportunity to do that. And like I said, I'm not out soliciting work, but I just wanted to do that. And then after I did that with my older drones, which are only 1080p, one of my older drones, I have a Spark, which is the one I used. You wouldn't use a Spark in a real business environment. Then I have a Mavic Air 1, and that had the battery set so long they wouldn't work, so I couldn't even use it. I've since bought another battery and some tools to fix those batteries. But I went out and I bought, maybe I jumped the gun, but I went out and I bought a used Mavic 2 Pro, because a little bit cheaper I could have got the Mavic 1 Pro, but the Mavic 2 Pro has quite a bit of difference in the camera. Apparently, I don't want to go into that here, but so I did go out and buy a new drone so I could do a little more of this footage, higher quality. The first thing I did was the 1080p of the track, and in the description of this video, I'll put the link to that track footage so you can see it. First thing I've ever done, I got there and I realized, man, I don't even have a plan of action. So that type of thing, you want to be a little bit cinematic with it, as opposed to if you're just doing like a construction site and you're doing construction progression and you film it once a week or something. The fact that you're filming that track, it would have been good if it was a little more cinematic, and I'll learn more as I go. So I did fly an official mission that would require a Part 107 certified pilot's license. You can't do that as a hobbyist because it's for the furtherance of the business, etc. If you're putting it on YouTube, that even if it's not monetized, it could be monetized. You got to be careful with the regulation there. And the fact that his racetrack is a business, you cannot do that as a recreational pilot, even if you do it for free. I've been on the project I'm on right now for 14 years, and it's been completed. The task has been completed. I don't want to talk about the job too much, but the job had a known ending. The job's been completed, and we're waiting for the state of Colorado to give us permits to close down. So I was flying the drone. Environmentally, we're looking for birds' nests, etc. We can't tear a building down if there's birds' nests involved. Secondly, we have to just document as the building gets torn down. We have to document the utilities, power, and different types of lines between these buildings. If one building is staying and the other building's coming down, we have to document what's been severed before they start pulling that building down. So anyway, I had started a channel. It was called Second Chance, Work After 60. Knowing that I'm going to be losing my job. I'm 63 right now. I might make it till I'm 65 on this job, somewhere around there. And if I'm not ready to retire, I got to find another job somewhere or move with the company, etc. I don't really want to move with the company. I would take like I've done before, I lived in a hotel for a year while I worked at a different site. That was a different company, but I could go to a different site and work for a period of time and then come home. But I'm not going to sell my house to chase this company. I've made that clear to all my managers and whatnot. So anyway, I was concerned about what do I do after this job. So I started a channel about finding work after 60. And I'd done a few videos. Only one of them got a whole lot of views. And it's the first video I posted without watching it first. And the audio was bad. Like, oh my gosh, can't believe I did that. So anyway, the channel had only 8 subscribers. Wait a minute, I should add that at this point is when the drone opportunity came up. I then decided to rebrand the web page I was working on, the YouTube channel rather, that I was working on more towards cobraaerial.com from what it was called before. I should have included that in all that part. And I decided I'm going to change the tone a little bit. I rebranded this whole thing as what you see now. The channel is cobraaerial.com, and it's going to showcase my work and my business as I create it down the road. I've already started this business in, not technically, and I'll get to that. So I went out and I got a real email address, a real website, like I said. The next thing I need to do is to get an actual LLC. And then before that, you're not actually a business. You just made a fake website. But I want to get all those ducks in a row. And even while I'm working, I may pursue, there are sites. One is called Fly Guys. There's more. You can look that up. I don't need to name them all. There's one called Fly Guys. And what that is you sign up, and then there's an application, and when you're available, you go look at the job board and you take jobs, and they tell you all the parameters that you need to capture in this mission. And then you go out on the site, send the data off, and then they pay you. I've watched a few videos of people that do that, and there's another one that's a little simpler than that one, and you can do it with a lower quality drone, but I don't want to get into all those services right now. You can find those if you're interested. So I rebranded the channel. I had only 8 subscribers. I rebranded all this and it became 9 subscribers and then back down to 8. So somebody else quit. So anyway, I posted one drone video of a guy getting hit in the back of the head with the drone, and it did like 1,900 views, which is viral compared to the 20 or 30 views this channel was getting before I renamed it and rebranded it. So if you're interested in drones and you're interested in the work after 60, now you might be 25 and interested in the drone business, that's fine. You don't have to care about the work after 60 part. But I'm going to document and kind of follow my work and professional progression through this channel. Right now, Cobra Aerial is small, 8 subscribers on the channel, low view count, but that's how every business starts, right? I got the certification, I got the branding in place, I've got to get more experience. I'm actually getting that at work while I'm being paid, so that's a win-win situation right there. And I'm building the digital presence piece by piece. This channel is going to follow the entire journey from zero all the way to fully operational drone inspection business. If you're starting your own second act or you're curious about becoming a drone pilot, stick around because I'm building this in real time and you're going to come with me. All right, so if you're interested in this journey, you can come with me. It'd be nice to hit like, hit subscribe, see the this corner rather. Buy me a coffee. You can help the channel on that. You don't have to. In your left corner, I'm going to put the icon for the Pilot Institute, which is the company I used to study and become Part 107 certified. I'm not affiliated with them yet, but part of completing that, there's a way to set up an affiliate link, and I will do so soon. All right, so that's it. That's how we got to cobraaerial.com. If you got this far, thank you for watching. I hope you continue to watch. I'll post more. I'll post some of the video footage I take myself just for the fun of it, or if it pertains to something professionally. Either way, I'll continue to post stuff. I'm going to make a video on the drones I have now, although if you're going to go into business for yourself, you would want newer drones than what I'm going to show you. But I just did this as a foot in the door. And I should have mentioned what I'm flying at work is a Skydio X10D, which is a $30,000 drone. So it's kind of nerve-wracking to fly that the first couple of times, but in reality, it doesn't fly any different than a $500 Spark. It's all the same kind of stuff on the screen. It just has more collision avoidance. It's got a couple things like it's got thermal imagery built in. Not built in, it's a module on the back of it, I think. But anyway, It's no harder, no more difficult to fly than any other drone. It's just the fact that it's $30,000 is a little nerve-wracking. Anyway, help the channel out if you can. Follow us, like us. We'll be back with more.